Interesting days ahead as we follow proceedings at the Presidential Tribunal, particularly as we come down to Inauguration Day. But let's talk about Nigeria's foreign policy in the past decades and how it can be improved on in the coming administration. Upon independence in 1960, Nigeria's Prime Minister, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, was quoted to have said, "Africa is the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy," and that policy has since been the theme of successive Nigerian administrations. You can find this feature in Section 19 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. It provides that the foreign policy objectives shall, number one, be for promotion and protection of national interest, and then two, promotion of African integration and support for African unity. There is the promotion of international cooperation for consolidation of universal peace and mutual respect, and there's also respect for international law and treaty obligations, as well as seeking of settlement of international disputes by negotiation, mediation, and things like that. And finally, the promotion of a just world order. There's also some remarkable successes achieved over the years in this regard. For instance, Nigeria was instrumental in the establishment of the multinational joint task force comprising troops from the Republic of Benin, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger Republic. And of course, Nigeria in 1994, it had the objective of ending the Boko Haram terrorism. If you follow the details, you'll find out that they've made some success in that regard. The force is also still very much actively engaged in the battle against terrorists. There are other successes, like Nigeria being instrumental in the creation of the Economic Community of West African States Monitoring Group, what is called the ECOMOG Multinational Force, in way back 1990. And the objective there was to intervene and help end the Liberian Civil War, which was between 1989 and 1996. Also, under the auspices of the United Nations and the African Union's peacekeeping missions, Nigerian troops have also performed creditably well in the United Nations peacekeeping missions in places like Congo, in Mali, Somalia, Sudan, and in other countries. And that's just to mention but a few. You can go on to talk about the numbers of international bodies Nigeria is a member to, the number of treaties it's signatory to. There are, however, people who argue that the notion of Africa as the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy was at the time based on concepts like eradication of colonialism, sovereignty of all African states, respect for the principle of non-interference, and promoting friendships and things like that. They say this may well have been fit for purpose in post-independence Africa, but that Nigeria now faces new challenges on the domestic and international front. So it's about time for some fresh thinking, dynamism and foresight, as well as innovative strategies in that regard. So we ask the question tonight: how do we formulate a more robust foreign policy that will better harness our human capital and vast natural resources, and of course give us a competitive edge among the Committee of Nations? And how exactly will the incoming administration play a more pivotal role in all of this? We'll take a break now. When we return, I'll be joined by former ambassador of Nigeria to Ethiopia,